Right, just to start you off, we're back from our trusty friends, Ikush and Koi. Smile, dear. No, the wife's been tending to the garden. The dogs are being shits as usual. But boxes and bags means we got carried away. Ted, get out. Ted, get out. So I've been looking for an Asagi for a while now. Been watching some videos on Asagi selection. So that was my doing. So both koi have come from, as usual, from Ikush and Koi, from Ogata. So that's Evan's selection. Thank you, Tony, for that one. Actually, really nice. Cute little Benny. And then my Asagi is here. So tried to pick one with some good scalation and colour. Benny and Sumi looks pretty good. Darker than I would expect, assuming a male. Just going to show you the side, but it's starting to form underneath nicely. Both pectoral fins are coloured, and then I was trying to find one with the higher colour on the face, and then hopefully this will whiten up quite nicely. Obviously the colour either side, but yeah, quite a slender body. There was a few chunkier ones but didn't have as much colour, but certainly had better bone structure. But this one, yeah, she's a keeper, I reckon. Yeah, I only went down there for that, and then the kids get carried away, and before you know it, yeah, we're going to pop them in the pond in a minute, and then what I'm going to do is give you a walk round. So last spring I did similar with the Garden of Eden, just to show you the pond, the filtration for any new followers. Because when I last done it, so the Garden of Eden and the pond update, the pond wasn't built, and I think we only had about 150 subscribers. So obviously that's significantly more. So I'm just going to give a quick tour. But before I do that, let's get these in the pond and let them settle in. What's up, YouTube? You come to see the garden? Let's to get on with it. Bonjour! As promised, spring 2022. So this is Eden Koi Pond, and this is the Garden of Eden. So what I'm going to do is, just for any of those of you who are quite new, just going to have a quick whiz around the garden and the pond, just to give you a bit of an overview of what it is we've got here and how it runs, and any plans. In the background, those are the usual dogs, which are a pain in the arse. So what we'll do is we'll start up the top. Hopefully the dogs won't disturb us anymore, or decide to use the bathroom whilst we're filming the Garden of Eden, because I've not read the Bible, but I don't think it makes mention to two delinquent dogs crapping around Adam and Eve. Anyway, let's get going. Yeah, any questions, I'll drop them in the comments and I'll do my best, but I'm no Alan Titchmarsh. Dave Titface, but not Alan Titchmarsh. So after my usual bonjours, I normally take a stride. Excuse the paintwork in the background. On my job list for the summer. So right now we're up at the top of the garden. So this is looking from the back of the house. There's the delinquents coming. There's number one, there's number two. That's good. They fecked off indoors waiting for their dinner. So we're up the top of the garden. So the main pond structure is up here. The only bit of garden we got up here, we used to, so those that watched the channel last year, this used to be like a duck egg blue shed that we had as the quarantine tank and for growing on the fry, but it just didn't work here. It cut so much light out. So behind me is the kitchen, so it just felt very claustrophobic. So I've taken thus sleepers that used to form part of that quarantine grow on tank, and we've just turned this into, so we have it for our water storage, but B, So this is, excuse the straw and the hay, we've got strawberries growing there at the moment, so we just use this as sort of herbs and fragrant. So that's my little chair there and my barbecue area. So it's quite nice to have some nice fragrant plants. So we've got rosemary in there, I think there's a curry plant, we've got mint, and then we've got the stocks just going around the edge, give off lovely fragrance. And then got thyme, as I say, rosemary in there. There's some wee strawberry plants growing. Not sure if we've got anything on them. Yeah, they're starting to come through, look. I'll show you a bit more about Fruit Corner in a minute. And then just at the back, I can never remember what that's called. I'll put it on the screen now. As I say, just the water collection and then the overflow. Just what was that for me? You would have seen on one of my previous videos. So this is the top section of garden we done on a budget. So if I just park my bum. And there's the pond. So it's 15 or just shy of 15,000 litres. And all fiberglass, block built. And then just rendered with the timber cladding, coated with the timber cladding. You see old Bertha there, tank. That's her usual position. She'll sit and watch until I feed her. And then the filtration house is just over in the corner. Excuse that on the top. That's where I hide it when I'm not using it. Well, funny story though. I've got to stop doing that because when it gets hot, the felt on the roof heats up and the tub actually sticks to it. I have promised myself I won't do it anymore, but what can I say? I'm just lazy. But yeah, it's a just under 15,000 litres, just over with the filtration. So filtration wise, I'll take you over there in a bit. So yeah, it runs off a 4-inch bottom drain, and that goes to a Nexus 320, which is over in the filter house. Take you over there now. So I keep toying with making this bigger, but there's my fire pit from my lovely neighbour. So filtration wise, I say Nexus 320, and that just runs off of a Evolution Aqua 20,000 at the moment. And then inside, just General Electrics, the 2 Vari pump controllers there. And then we got a series of outdoor sockets. And over the back, so we got a 50 litre per hour Charles Austin and 120 litres per hour Charles Austin. And then inside the Nexus, we are running at the moment a nudge over 200 litres, around 215 litres of K1, K1 Plus and Helix 14, and then just the standard micro in the centre chamber. As I say, that just returns via the 4-inch normal airline, inch airline going to a spindrift at bottom drain. And you won't see it very well, but that comes round. All my pipe work returns in this Eco channel here, and then behind this box, you'll have to excuse this, I've just been sanding it down ready to put so I want to match the cladding that's on the other side. But in here is, if I just flip this up, so in there hopefully you can see is the UV, and then the 2 returns, high and medium, and they're both running at around 5,000 litres per hour back to the pond. That's a EA 55 watt UV. I'm thinking I need to up that really. I'm struggling. I mean, I've had bit of blanket weeds, but you'll see the tinge to my water at the moment, that yellowy green, rather frustrating. Other filtration wise, so we got the JBR plastic skimmer, and that just runs round the back. So again, into a 20,000 litre per hour Vari pump. Want to upgrade this one to 30,000 litres per hour and then keep this as a spare. All water is returned. I'm just setting up a treacle feed at the moment. I'll lure. Easier than controlling it from the tap over there. Plus when you try and run the tap slowly when you're filling up, it makes that horrible noise, so the wife goes mad. So yeah, that makes it a lot easier. I've done away with the second hose I had over it because I'm pissed off to keep bloody falling over it, so tidy up that cabling and then everybody's happy. Fish are over in the corner, sunbathing in the bit of sun that's provided by my ship shade, or ship light should I say. It's like a skylight but crap. So yeah, they're happy. So obviously that's controllable off of the valve when the water's on, but I do want to hard pipe this. It's temporarily up. There's soft hose or flexi hose at the moment, but yeah, as I say, I want to hard pipe this in and then run a separate feed from the kitchen. But yeah, so skimmer returns, flexi pipe at the moment. Again, I'm going to sort this out at a later date, but 5,000 watts of it goes through the Tempest, and around 10,000 watts at the moment goes via the DIY shower. You can see that's all greening up at the moment. Water wise it's fairly clear, it's just got that tinge to it. I did treat with acroflavin, so I'm not sure if it's just taken a while to disperse or disappear, but that was over a week ago and obviously it's had several changes since. But, quite a few fish in here at the moment, a lot of grow-ons, fry that we've grown ourselves, or bred ourselves if you like, and we've also got 60 odd Adam Buyer frying doors which we're going to need to do something with. So anything smaller than 6 inches is actually going to be taken from this pond, and I think I'm going to build a second pond. I talked about it last year. But yeah, I do want to get some of the small stuff. So looking at the water here, it looks fairly clear, but obviously looking at the bubbles, you can see it's got that yellow tinge to it. It's either that or the 55 watt UV isn't quite strong enough. Answers on a postcard down below. 15,000 litres, 55 watt UV, is that sufficient? It's only running 10,000 litres per hour back through it, so there's plenty of dwell time, but I'll be intrigued to hear. So if we just walk back round, so yeah, as I say, that's the filtration. In terms of the DIY backy shower, built that myself, so that's 3 tiers. That is just full of alpha grog at the moment, and there is a DIY sieve on the top. And for those of you that don't know, there's bags available from Aldi, would you believe it? 25p. Lovely. Yeah, just going back round the front then. So, just got my koi art on the front, and then that's a 1200 by 900 window, twin laminate. I think that's 20, I want to say 25mm thick, might be a bit more, I can't even remember. But one of the things you need to consider when you're having your pond, making it big enough. This is great because you don't always see the fish, but it would have been nice to have had it a bit bigger, because we've got certain koi that aren't too shy, and then others that aren't interested in the window at all. Yeah, you can see that yellow tinge. It's so frustrating. So frustrating. Yeah, check out my slippers. Got my dad's slippers on. Yeah, they're waiting for food at the moment. There's old Am here. But yeah, that's the pond. So solid roof, got a window in there, got my nice sign from the kids. But yeah, solid roof, keeps that sun off. That's what makes me wonder with the UV. It can't not be strong enough. I mean, it's only in the sun this time of day. Got my koi art on the back as well. Those that watch the channel, that's all scrap wood. That's feeding location, that is. So got my new Asagi in there somewhere. We're all hungry. to have a wander around. So plans are at some point, I did talk about extending my filtration, but what I'm thinking, I'm not keen on a camellia. Many people compliment me on my camellia. Come a camellia. But yeah, what I'd quite like to do is actually take this out, extend the back of the existing filter house, because I toyed with making this bigger, but I just like the way it fits in. It's, you know, ratio of filter shed to pond. I like to keep it sort of more pond, less filter shed. So what I'm thinking is actually just come back off of here with a roof, and then my quarantine tank can go in the back. But yeah, down on this side, so it's quite nice. All my water from the pond drains nicely into next door at the moment, which it shouldn't. And then got some wisterias here trying to grow on at the moment. But where my pond's been feeding, so this is what I call peony corner or peony side. So all my peonies for this year just starting to come up, so range of different colours. I do need to do something with this. Look at the size of this bay tree. This thing just keeps on growing. Obviously that's not it in the background. This is it here. But yeah, I do need to really hack this back this year, so we allow some of this to have some light. My little arch, so I put this in last year. Now climbing rose starting to go over the top. Just gives a bit of a feel of a different world. And then this is my little pinetum. So planted this up, got a bit of winter jasmine in here, but mostly these are all old Christmas trees that we've had, apart from obviously the Leyland conifer at the back. Golden cypress, I think that is. But yeah, saw something at my garden centre and I thought, I like that. So once you walk through the arch, it takes you down to the bottom of the garden. So this is where I keep my junk at the moment. So my shed, kids trampoline, and then my tip just behind there at the moment. But once the kids have had enough of the trampoline, I want this to put a nice big man cave down here. Just walking back up, so down in the corner, so just behind me. So got the cherries, hacked that back last year, had a bit of a disease, so we took it back. Oh, look at that. So this is funny, look. So in there, if we look carefully, so Evan always used to bring acorns back and plant them in the garden in random places. Look, one growing. Need to take that out, bury it somewhere else. But yeah, so bottom of the garden, affectionately known as fruit corner. So we've got the pears. We all like a good pear, don't we? I like a nice pear. Again, hacked back last year. And as we got the other side, so Spalia plums. So we've got two different types of plums down on this side. So we've got the Victorias, and these I think are just a dessert plum, both sweet varieties. But we usually harvest probably close to 100 plums. So we've got a nice pear and a good set of plums, doing all right. And then down here we've got red currants and raspberries, which last year in my wisdom I thought every raspberry that had gone funny I'll just poke it back in the ground. And problem with that is remembering where I've put them. So we've now got raspberries popping up all over the place, not in a controlled manner. Up top of the garden, so this is bird and insect corner. So I've got the photinias, got the butterfly bushes. I don't know what that is in the corner. I think that might be some sort of, it was a climber originally. I thought, it's not clematis. Hydrangea that's being eaten alive at the moment. And then we got Evie's little sign hiding in there. But yeah, so we've got two types of buddleia here, the butterfly bush. So we've got the standard, but this one at the front is actually a globe shape, which comes out orange. So I'll give you an update on that. We actually found that growing wild at the side of the road. So be interesting to see how it goes. And then we've got all our insects and bits for the birds. So we've got the bird table. Another scrap wood challenge. And then last but not least, so we've had nice plums, good pear. And how do you like them apples? So this was down the bottom of the garden. So just brought it back up here. It's closer to the plums, it's closer to the pear, just for in terms of pollination, cross-pollination. And then underneath, so we've tried to do this, I do leave the grass a bit longer, as you will see. A, for the football, but also for the insects. So we actually put this in for the first time this year. And this is our wildflower earlier. So what we've got in here is just lots of wildflower seeds. There's a few hebes buried in there. Buried amongst it all, you'll see. But it's been fantastic to see the... because obviously building the garden last year, we lost a lot of that wildlife. But yeah, seeing all the butterflies and everything return, and it's nice just having something a bit wild. I'm very I wouldn't say OCD, but I like straight lines and things like that. So with the garden, I'm just trying to get round to make it a little less formal, so a bit more informal, crooked lines, and just letting things go a bit more wild, which is very, very, very difficult. Speaking of which, wild, I've shaved my beard off. It was getting on my tits, literally. Mustn't forget the rabbits. Larry and Smudge, hidden in there somewhere. Here they are. Hi there, boys. This is quite special, this bit. This is where we grow our footballs. So we put one football there. I don't know if you can see it, it's a little yellow one here. And it's taken a couple of years, but it's quite established now. But yeah, it's a bit like a pumpkin plant, I suppose. But it grows footballs. Because apparently, according to my son, you can't have enough footballs. Which, when I was a kid, you just had one football. And hope that it didn't get nicked. But yeah, no, apparently the thing now is to have lots of footballs. So get yourself a football plant. Available online. Wife's little sanctuary. See what's going on in here, shall we? Oh my god. Let's undo that. I've got some lupins, dahlias. Stocks are in stock. I'm assuming they're stocks as well. God knows what they are. There we go. That's your lot. That's the garden. That's spring 2022. come. Let's move over here out the wind. So lots more adventures. Like I said, need to be building me a new grow on facility. Plenty of planting to be done. Lots of exciting bits and pieces. Actually, we've got a pond visit coming up in a week or so's time, and that bad boy's 47,000 litres, run off of 4 different filtration units, and yeah, it's quite a beast. Looking forward to that one. But from me Casa to Sue Casa, your Casa, it's been lovely having you, and I'll catch you soon. Stay safe, enjoy the week. Monday tomorrow, bollocks. I'll catch you again soon on the Eden Koi Pond channel. Yow, goodbye.